Got it. Good morning and welcome to the weekly chat, our very special edition, birthday edition. So today, well, actually yesterday, 5 years ago, in the middle of lockdown, this amazing group was formed. And it was formed when a little bit of, I suppose, desperation um, in the moments of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, nobody knew what to expect. We had just gone into lockdown, and myself and clients and a couple of the coaches with their clients, we said, let's get together on this thing called Zoom and let's try and help each other. And at the end of the first session, it was, should we do this every Friday? And yes. And every Friday for 5 years, the room is open. And some of you beautiful people are here every single week. Some come and go. Some pop in when they need it. Some pop in when they don't. Some pop in just because they missed everybody. But that's the beauty of this. And morning, George. Good to see you. Hello, Lee. Hey, Shani. And it's just evolved. In the beginning, we used to have to bring a box of tissues with. And at one stage, we thought about calling it the Twin Saver Show. Because it really wasn't an emotional sessions because people were broke. People had no money. People were desperate. They didn't know where to turn. And through that, a very, very strong bond started forming. And then we started going back people started going back to the office. And then the call came, Kenny, can you record it for us? Can you share this with us? And it became, no, we can't do that. And Michelle and I got together and we said, well, let's create a podcast of it. And so the podcast, The Weekly Chat with Kenny, was born. And we gave ourselves a proper name then. Before then, we never really had a proper name. And Michelle, you can help me if I go wrong with my story here. And so we started producing podcasts. And the podcast ran for 4 seasons. Can't remember how many episodes, but 4 seasons. And then in October last year, we kind of, the regulars were all turning up anyway, except for a few. And yeah, I know a couple of people missed the podcast because they like to go back and listen to it. And Michelle and I looked at it and we said, the amount of work we have to put in, or sorry, not the amount of work I have to put into it, the amount of work Michelle and Rob have to put in that podcast out every week. It's not worth it for 5 downloads a week. So we dropped it. But the weekly chat has carried on, and I don't foresee this ending. Okay, it's not in sight. So the weekly chat has meant a lot to me. It has been an inspiration for me to do more. It brings me back to reality, and it keeps me with what's really happening. The information that I learn from everybody in the weekly chat every week is lessons for me about what's really happening. Because let's be real, we can get lost in our own little world so easily. We can not see the bigger picture. But the weekly chat has allowed us to see the bigger picture. It's allowed me to see the bigger picture so that I know what's happening in the world. I know what's happening with SMEs, with startups, with businesses that have been going for 30 years. Okay? Because we're a good mixture. And now we've gone and we've really truly gone international. I mean, Odette was the first international, okay, because she left SA and went to the UK. And then, George has come along, Crystal's come along, and it's just grown and developed and it's spread out. And for me, 5 years, I was saying before we started, 5 years, most businesses don't last 5 years. Over 40% of businesses shut down and close within 5 years. So it's a remarkable thing, but it's due to you guys showing up every week. I may remember in the beginning, I used to log in and go, fingers crossed somebody shows up. Okay. And that's long, that feeling is long gone. Okay. Because the reality is, even if one person did just show up, the weekly chat would still happen. So what I wanted to do today, and we have some new people today, and thank you for joining us, to get a grips of what this is all about. And usually in the weekly chat, this is where I would ask a question. And the question would always be business related. And back in the beginning, it was very much supportive related and accountability related and bringing people into focus. But we've developed into a lot of deeper thinking around your business. And that's kind of where we've gone. It's about, let's have a look at your business from a different angle every week. And I think that has made a big difference for a lot of you. And I mean, it was Shani who challenged us on the question, said, can't we go a little bit deeper? And so we listened. Okay. And we've gone a little bit deeper. And yes, we did lose a couple of people, but that's okay. Okay. Because a couple of people didn't want to go that deeper into their business. But it's just okay. So today, my question to you guys is, please share with us, and for the new people in the room, why do you come to the weekly chat? What has it done for you? How's it helped you in your business?
I'll start, please.
Of course, Megan, I wouldn't expect anything less.
It's a weekly chat, normality, if you will. So I joined the weekly chats, I think in May or June of 2020, after you and I actually had a one-to-one.
Yeah.
So I could figure out where our businesses were and all the rest of it. And he said, no, come and join this funny little thing we have on a Friday morning. I took a hiatus in 2022, and then I said, something's missing on a Friday morning. And then I realized what it was. This has taken my business or my thinking of how I operate business to the next level because I've met incredible people over the years. I collaborate with a whole lot of people. People have become customers from it. Um, the amount of knowledge and stuff that I get out of each week's chats has gotten me out of dark spaces. As most of you know, last year was, you would swear that I was connected to the ESCOM grid here because of the load shedding that I used to go through on a weekly basis. But I had people that were supportive, people that always reached out, people that messaged me and say, hey, things aren't that bad. Let's have a chat. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a pizza, whatever it was. But it was just those people that I've met through here and the advice that I got given every week and people's ideas. And it's just taken me as an individual, let alone the business. The business benefits from my energy that I give out now. But it's just that has taken me from a load shedded space, if you will, up to where ESCOM should technically be in the light. And I appreciate every single person for that.
Thank you. Megan, who would you like to hand over to?
Good Lord, there's a lot of people. Let's go with somebody we haven't seen in absolute ages. Michelle.
Hey, everybody. So I think a lot of people always wondered where I went to, but one of our goals for last year was to go to a 4-day work week. So work is now banned on a Friday. We don't work on a Friday, which is really, really good. And hence, I don't get out of bed early to show up for the weekly chat on a Friday. I think the biggest thing with the weekly chat for me has been kind of with Kenny creating a safe space for people that were kind of invisible when lockdown happened. And everybody kind of panicked. Not everybody was comfortable with being online. I think if most of us look back in hindsight for us, I think lockdown was an absolute blessing. Rob would never even considered leaving his corporate job if it hadn't been for lockdown. We wouldn't be living at the beach if the clients hadn't got used to working online and being comfortable with all of that. I think a lot of positives come out of it. I've certainly been able to work with a lot of people in the room, and Meg is right. We often just you know when someone's off because we get to know each other so well, and those odd WhatsApps or follow-ups or check-ins or reaching out for help and giving advice. And I think there's always been a really big mix in the weekly chat of people that are just starting out, some of us that have been going for a lot longer. And for me, it's been really cool to see Kenny, who I worked with for donkey's years in corporate, who's been my coach for 7 years, who's taken me from just me to 10 of us to kind of living the dream at the beach. We just got back from a month of digitally, nomadically running our business in the UK and traveling around, which is quite fantastic. And now everybody gets to benefit from that advice. I think, yes, sometimes people do fall by the wayside because Kenny's he is a pushover in many aspects. So his life is a big softie. But when it comes to helping you meet your goals, he calls you out on all your shit. So you don't have a choice but to listen and knuckle down and like get going. I think I've seen growing good relationships from this group, got to meet a lot of other people from this group. And I think Gisela is one of our kind of craziest recruiters. He could rent her out to any big gang and she double the size of anything, purely because of her enthusiasm for the group. So I think, yeah, I've got to make some really good friends along the way. I've had the privilege of helping a lot of you as clients. I've got some great collaborators like George in the group. We work together all the time, and we live all over the place. So it can be, yeah, I think it has made a big difference. But for me, it's kind of the sense of community that we've built along the way. And just because I'm not here every Friday doesn't mean I don't wake up every Friday morning and go, I wonder what they're doing on the weekly chat today. So I think, yeah, it's been great and it's been a lot of fun. And I think it's made a lot of difference to a lot of people. And yeah, Kenny, yeah, what can I say? It's been awesome.
Thanks, Michelle, because if it wasn't for you, you really and truly helped keep this all together. So thank you.
That's awesome. Pleasure. And I'm going to hand over to Odette. She loves being stuck in the spotlight without any preparation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, you know what I really, you mentioned something that was, I think, very important is sense of community. And back in the day, I think community was important back then. And it was also possibly a sense of, could I be wrong in saying, a form of accountability, just arriving and just being there. And what I really loved was getting the various perspectives. As Kenny mentioned, you've got a range of professions and people who've been in business for various lengths and different personalities. And you're just getting in so many different perspectives on one question. Whereas sometimes certainly me, I don't know about everybody else, you're sort of stuck in your own head and you're trying to think of what could be the possible outcomes of this one, or one something, a thought. And, you think you've thought of all I think I have been thinking of all the options, but then somebody comes with a radical like side sweep. Wow, I didn't even think of that. And that's what I love, is just getting everybody's viewpoint, which is really, really valuable. So I'm going to hand over to Haley. Just saw you there.
Thanks, Odette. So for me, the big thing for me is watching the growth. I think it's that thing when you pitch up every Friday, and there's very little that stops me from pitching up, even if I pitch off camera. I'm prepared to do that. But I think for me, it really is the growth. And I've seen phenomenal growth. I mean, if I just think of like what Michelle just said, I mean, it's incredible what they've achieved and what they've gone out and claimed for themselves. It's huge. And yes, it comes down to having a good coach and coaching with you, Kenny, but also it's it's so inspirational for anybody on this group who goes, wow, like they did that. They packed up and left and went to live at the beach because that's what they really wanted to do. And for all of those months before you went into a 4-day week, you told us. And you planted that little seed for like somebody like me, who I do take the odd Friday off, or I do take the odd Tuesday off. And I love those days. And I never have guilt about them. And I think a lot of the reason that I don't have guilt is because I have examples here every Friday who go, yeah, it's doable. But there's nothing wrong with taking a day off work, even as a self-employed person. Yes, I am fortunate, like Michelle, I have a team of 9, so I can take a day off because when I take a day off, the work just keeps going. And they phone me all day long anyway, so I don't even know why I bother to take a day off. But my big thing is watching the growth. Like I love that. I've seen so much growth. I mean, just for the regulars that are here, Shani, Odette, Janine, listening to words of wisdom from Johan, who I do miss here on a Friday morning. Just thought I would put that out there. And for me, the big one, the really big one, has been watching Jim come out of gym. Like that has been huge because it shows all of us as well that when you're in a safe space, you can start to gain that confidence to start to speak. And what I remember about you, Jim, in the beginning was what's really interesting for me is you actually didn't believe you had anything to contribute. And now you do. Now, when those tough questions are asked, there's pearls that drop out of your mouth. And I'm like, oh my word, is this the same Jim from like a couple of months back? But that is testament. I know I'm highlighting you, but it's testament to what, when you commit to showing up, and let's be honest, as self-employed people, to give up an hour, like we all think, oh my word, our businesses are going to stop functioning if we give up an hour. But what we invest in ourselves by being here every Friday, for somebody like me who's has a 40-year-old business, like you go, well, like, what more can you learn? There's so much I learn every Friday from listening to all of you. So I am immensely grateful and I do commit to it. You are the only one that I commit to on a full-time basis. And nothing really shifts it. I mean, the factory's phoning me 40 times and I just switched my phone off. I'm like, you'll wait. This is my space on a Friday. So I just wanted to say thank you. And also, yes, to meet the internationals, to have met Crystal and George and listening. And then there's new people here, and Melanie, who's new, who you can't miss because of her pink background. And those are the little things that become so important. So I'm just very grateful for this space. Thank you.
Thanks, Haley.
And on that note, I'm going to hand over to Pink Melanie.
Well, definitely two things there, Haley. One, I can't wait to be 40, like be a 40-year-old company. And two, I look forward to the day I finally don't feel guilty for taking time off. I really do struggle with that. But so for me, I've really been enjoying this. Like I've really gone on a journey with Kenny on a side thing, and then he invited me to these weekly chats. I'm a little sad that like from October, December, like I got so busy with our peak season that I was like, I don't know if I can actually take the time out, and it's not by choice. So now I've decided this year I'm really going to try and make time, even if it means I get up earlier to sort out some of the other issues. I'm just usually a bit late because I have to wait for my system, sorry. But I've actually really been loving this journey. Like you said, so like for example, one sense of community and being able to pick other people's brains and also just to see how everyone thinks differently. I absolutely love that. Like you think this is the answer and this is the way, and someone I wouldn't even say a spanner in the work, but like they make you think differently, and that's what I love about it. And sorry, there was something else. The accountability. I'm really enjoying that and then the structure. So the thing is like the problem with being a creative is you get very distracted easily. Like, oh, there's a squirrel. So this helps me to get that structure and yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm absolutely loving this. Like I've learned so much and I love being part of the community.
Thank you, Mel.
And then I will hand over to Gabby if she hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, let's go to Gabs.
Oh,
It works. Sorry, I'm having some technical glitches. Happens all the time. Thank you, Melanie. So why do I come to the weekly chat? It feels like it's just time to simply slow down and actually just touch base. And it is such a powerful container because so often, I think for me, can't talk for everybody else's experience on this, is I feel like an island as a business owner. And it is absolutely profound to step into a room and find a wolf pack and run differently because we are all at different levels. We all hunt differently. And that's what makes it so amazing. And the questions you throw is just one question and we answer it so differently because we are designed differently. And it's that beautiful celebration of being who you are and allowing that to just flow into every single day. And that makes business so different. And what really actually supported mine in my growth of not being afraid to step into rooms like this and actually just simply share from my own point of view. So I find that to be quite powerful. So thank you very much. And that is why I will join every Friday, come hell or high water.
You even
Anyway.
moaned at me when the Friday public holiday. Can't we have the weekly chat? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why are we stopping on a public holiday? It makes no sense to me. I'm like, but people work on a holiday. Anyway, that's just my little brain fart. You're welcome. I'll hand that over to Crystal.
Good morning, everybody. So we met with Kenny only 1.5 months ago. I think something like that. So it was a mid-February. And I think that we kind of connected immediately. I mean, we met on one of the circle meetings and then we wanted to meet up, have the one-to-one, but then I got sick and then we kind of met a little bit later. But I got so inspired. I mean, first of all, what Kenny is doing. And then when he said that there is the group and then come and join and then see, what we're doing there. So for me, meeting all of you, it has been just a huge joy, a pleasure to kind of to be part of you, to listen every time. The questions, the answers, and then to learn and also kind of come a little bit, funnily enough, out of my comfort zone because questions that Kenny is putting on the table are challenging. I'm not thinking in my, let's say, work every day of this type of questions. So this is definitely enriching. And for me, I'm really looking forward for this Friday mornings, just to kind of to start the finish of my day, but really kind of having this energy and having these nice thoughts to actually to take with me for the weekend. So thank you for having me. I'm very, very pleased to have met all of you. And yeah, I have brought today also 2 of my friends, Dana and Tiana. So just to come and then check and then see what we are doing. And so thank you so much. And thank you, Kenny.
Thank you. Who would you like to hand over to?
Janine.
Thank you, Crystal. For me, it was a highlight in the middle of a very stressful time in lockdown, and it's been a center point of learning, connecting, leading to so many things. Hayley Joy putting together a book for all of us to put together.
And we have lost Janine. Janine? Okay, let's get back to Janine. Let's go to our recruiter, Gisela.
Oh, I like that, Kenny. Thank you. Recruiter. Unfortunately, the ones that I have recruited have left and dropped out, but I do still speak to them and I say, why don't you?
It's still here. It's still here. Hayley's here.
Yeah,
Shawnee's
I
here.
know, but the ones that have dropped off,
Okay.
I still speak to them and still say, why don't you carry on joining? But Kenny, for me, it's been an unbelievable learning journey, a huge learning journey. I do my absolute best to be here every Friday morning, but when I'm not here, I'm driving. So business also has to be included. I have learned so much. I have realized so much. And my biggest thing is, I think it was Odette, or I can't remember who said, to learn to take time out and not feeling guilty. That is the biggest learning curve for me, because and not feeling guilty. That was the biggest learning, that we can actually stop and just enjoy Netflix or enjoy having a cup of coffee with someone. That I learned a hell of a lot through this whole weekly chat. I also take the questions to other people, and it's interesting how they actually answer. And it's quite right what Odette said, in different angles, how the questions get answered. So many different replies. Amazing, just amazing. And I have got a book from the 5 years that and it's full, from all my writing, from all my everything. And
I'd
I've
love a
started
copy of
another
it.
one.
I'd love a copy of it.
Yeah, but I would not, never, ever miss the weekly chat and the community and seeing the people again, like Janine and Odette, who don't live in Joburg. It's just, and yeah, well, Haley, I'm often within contact collecting her material pieces. Yeah, it's the best community. It really is. And I just thank you so much, Kenny, for doing it the way you're doing it every week. And 5 years, wow, happy birthday. And really, may it continue. And it's just awesome to be here. And Michelle, wow, for you to actually be here again. I thought you had actually literally dropped off, but here you are again. And it's just amazing to have you back with us. That is like in the old group. Michelle and Kenny are twins. We just have to have you both together.
Thanks,
And
Gisela.
I'll hand over to Johan.
Thanks, Gisela. Yes, from my side, why do I come to the weekly chat? You know, for me, it's just having a better understanding about being human. Because what I've realized here is we have emotions that's up and down. Our businesses goes up and down, and we all experience it at times. But the little snippets, I was also just paging back in my book that I took notes over the time that I've been with it. And small things like, for instance, one day Haley made a comment, says, own your confidence. I mean, that can be life-changing. I remember I even made a comment that was well accepted, is the magic that you are looking for is in the work that you are avoiding. It's something that came up here. Shani, we had a good laugh about yours. One day you said you feel like an octopus on a roller skates. and we could all associate with that. Another one was, nothing you can buy at the mall will be important in 10 years. So don't just focus on working on the business, working on yourself. The biggest investment you can ever make is invest in yourself. Yeah. And another one there was, don't ask a friend for a discount. Pay the price and give your friend a good referral. I mean, there's all these things I'm saying can add to your life, can add to your business. I'm not going to mention the name now, but there's a compliment to me. Kenny and a couple of people know me. I've been in retail for many, many years. I work with my ex-wife, and we're in business together for the last 8 years, and we have an awesome relationship. And somebody made a comment, says, Johan, you don't realize how fortunate you are by having a good relationship with your ex-wife. Now, again, it comes to personal, and which I appreciated the comments. And my last thing there is, what I also gathered from my notes here is, spend time with the people that will be standing next to your grave one day. You know, we're such a great community here, and we learn so much from people. And sometimes you think, oh, it's boring. There's one little snippet out of one every hour that you can make for yourself. So thanks, Kenny. Happy birthday with Chat with Kenny. And we're all just really enjoying it and appreciating it. And I'll hand over to Jim.
Thanks, Johan. Jim?
I assume that's me. I didn't quite
There's
catch
only one
that. Yeah.
Jim. Yeah, there's only one Jim.
And I didn't catch him if he said Jim or not. This platform, and perhaps this is my little slip up there is a good example of my hang up with being in groups. And what this platform has done is changed the way we talk to each other. You know, when you get together around the water cooler, people start talking at the same time, and I step back and I can't listen to a number of people talking at the same time. And what this forum has done is everybody's quiet and one person talks at a time. And I'm able to listen to that person's story deeply and profoundly without having to be disturbed or distracted by somebody else who wants to interrupt. And that is a phenomenal difference to being in a social group in a noisy environment where distractions constantly interfere with my ability to listen to what people are saying. As I think you all know, I do have hearing problems. So this platform is ideal because I can turn you up, I can hear everything you're saying, and it is a fantastic arrangement. So from a physical point of view, that has been a tremendous instrument for participating in a group chat where I'm not being distracted. Then the other thing is that I'm pretty much on my own. I'm working here in a little island doing my own thing. And this chat group has allowed me to hear everybody else's points of view and perspectives. And I actually enjoy the idea of not knowing what you're going to ask before we have the chat, that it's something that we have to do on our feet. The question comes and we have to work it out in the time we've got. And that's very different to preparing your answer before you come on the chat. So I think that's maybe what's changed a lot in me, is to be able to respond, which I don't normally do, to a direct question very quickly like that. So I'm enjoy this chat group because of those aspects. Thank you very much and happy birthday.
Thank you, Jim. It means a lot. Who would you like to hand over to?
Let's go to George.
Thank you, Jim. I
George
come
will talk.
because Kenny bought my book. No, it was actually Casella that interested me, because I've known Michelle for some time. And I think it was at the first circle meetings that Michelle and Kenny had started. And I'd been speaking to Gazelle, and she says, "Have you been on Kenny's weekly chat?" I says, "No, what on earth is that?" And she says, "You should come along." I didn't even know, hadn't really spoken much to Kenny at all. But I love it. I'm a great believer in good things come out of bad. It doesn't matter how bad things are, there's always something good comes out of it. And you've proved that by starting 5 years ago, setting up this group to help people during COVID. I'm also a great believer now in the power of questions. I've watched many quiz programs on television, and I can see people are making a fortune out of just asking questions. So that's a skill, as asking the right questions. So now I think to myself, now the two most important skills in life is learning to ask the right questions and learning to find the right answers. And you don't know what's right because there's so many people here, and it's fascinating to hear the different views of people on different topics. I can't believe it. I admire you greatly. For 5 years setting up, I think, just asking one question every week is absolutely amazing. And how you're adapting to the changes and adapting the questions and really make people think. And I've seen a massive difference in Jim the short time that I've been here, and I see his confidence oozing through now. And I think that was one of the big things he just said there, is that everybody gets a chance to speak and everybody else listens. There's not many groups that happens in. So that's what I love about it.
Thank you, George. Who would you like to hand it over to?
I'll hand it over to Shani.
Thanks, George. Well, the weekly chat revolutionized my job and my life. Just to put it in simple terms, I came in very simple, I have a few clients managing, and then I was challenged to take a look at business from a business perspective, not just an employee perspective, a manager's perspective, an owner's perspective. And it was a safe space for me to learn and grow in. I came sick, I came crying, I came happy. It's a space you can come in no matter where you're at on the day. And it's family. I've been a little bit flaky with my attendance, but I'm still here. I don't feel shy. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel guilty for having not been here as much as I have been in the past. But I know that it's a space I can always still come back to and still learn. Even if I don't have anything to offer on that day, it's okay. Sometimes it's about receiving. It's not always about giving. So yeah, it's a feature that will never disappear from my life, even if I come and go. And yeah, I don't know. It's great. It's great. I'm here. I'm warm. I'm in my PJs. I'm washing dishes while I'm here. I'm cooking breakfast while I'm here. It's home. And what's also great is that it's personal growth. It's not just about business. You are your business. So where you're at will determine where your business is at. We learn from each other all the time. And we get the support that some people don't get everywhere else in life here in the weekly chat. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's special, and it's appreciated. So thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
And I will hand over to Leah or Lee, just Lee.
Lee?
It's Lee. Hi, good morning. Sure. Can you hear me? Can you look like you can't hear? Okay. I think I feel a bit, and everyone knows the story about the lost boy who's come back home. Kenya, I actually can't believe that this has been going for 5 years. And I think that that's so profound is when you meet people, it feels so short, but it feels like a lifetime at the same time. And I think one thing that stands out for me is it's what you and Michelle have created here, and this is from the beginning, and I remember the lockdown days, and it feels like it's years ago, but is that connection that you make to people on a personal level, and that impacts everything, in your daily life, in the way of, sure, sometimes, it's not even business related lots of the time, you just listen, and it's even in the group and it's outside the group, how I've done things in my life. And I think everyone, it's nice to see all the familiar faces. I haven't been on this group for quite a long time. It's nice to be back. I'm never going to miss it again. And I think that to me is what I take home. I was here and then I left and life happened and businesses happened and a lot of other things happened. And it's always this place where you can come back to. And it seriously is. It's a home feeling, and well done. It's awesome. And here's to another 50 years. Add a 0 to that 5.
I won't be right. Thanks, Lee. All right. Thanks, Lee. Let's go to Jared, and then we'll go to our special guests. Jared.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to be here, as usual. Yeah, what inspired me to come to your show, Kenny, is actually, you could say, I guess in terms of the business side, before I was not knowing what I was really doing. And then I remember last year I went to a big network event, NSB Africa. And I remember I saw CEO Mike Anderson, and there's a quote he said that I'll never forget. He said that people buy from people, and that made me think deep. And yeah, I'm just taking things to start to connect with people, to get to know them. So yeah, that's what inspired me, Kenny. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. Okay.
I nominate Tiana.
Tiana.
Tiana, yeah, cool.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello, happy birthday. So my name is Tiana. Because you don't know me, so I guess I need to say a few things about me because this is my first time, so I cannot really share like everybody else. So I'm from Serbia for I've been living in Thailand for past 5 years. I'm friend with Crystal. She's a great friend and mentor in the business and in life. And so I dedicated my work to well-being through stress management programs, through meditation programs, and through Vastu architecture, which is focused on creating harmonious space and stress-free building environment.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What did you think of today?
I like it so far. I'm really curious now when I heard that so many people really like it and benefited and having so much support, but also what I'm sensing, it's not only support related to business, but something maybe with a confidence and clarity, perhaps. So it sounds really, really like a good place to be.
It is. Thank you so much, and thanks for coming. Dana?
Hello. I also got invited by Crystal. Yes, I was having a morning today, and I thought I need to focus on something else. And you never know what you're going to learn when you do something that you're not expecting to do. So when Crystal reached out, I was very happy to say, yes, I'm going to come and join you. Because I really love meeting people. And there's just so much out there to learn from everyone. And when I think like that, it's really hard to stay in my bubble of doom and gloom, because if you've got time to be doom and gloom, you've got time to learn stuff, and that's way more fun. So yes, it's really nice to be here. I really enjoyed hearing everyone's introduction, and I'm nervous, but I really like the vibe. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. Unfortunately, we lost Dorian. Other than that, I don't think I missed anybody. Okay, so instead of normally we now do our takeaways, but we've got 15 minutes left.
Kenny? Sorry,
Yes.
Kenny. And Janine is back. So maybe
Yes,
you want to hear
Janine,
from her.
let's go back. Thank you. Is that Janine? Would you like to finish up what you started?
Oh, I didn't think I was going to get back on. Basically, what I was saying is this has been a supportive community, a loving family, and a way of understanding business with soul and heart. And thank you to yourself and to everyone in the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Janine. And so thanks, Gisela, for reminding me what I had said. Cool. So instead of us doing our normal, what is our takeaway from today? Let's go around the room. One word. One word as your takeaway. Just a word, not a sentence, not a phrase, just one word. Who's going to start it? Janine, there we go.
Community.
Oh, by the way, we're not allowed to use the same word twice.
So must I use a different word because
No,
that's
no.
what I finished off
No,
with.
you
Oh,
started. Community. Right. Who's next? Hand over.
Jim.
Learning. Gisela.
Extraordinary.
Hand over.
Oh, Michelle. Sorry.
Inspiration.
Who are you handing over to?
Jan.
Belong. Gabby.
Tribe. Janine.
Janine's
Megan.
been Megan.
Family.
Who are you handing over to?
Jared.
Connections. I'll hand over to George.
Fascinating. Haley.
Was that me, George? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Who are you handing
Who you
to?
handing
A date.
Thanks. Safe. Jared. Jared's been.
Jared's been.
Gisela.
Is this been?
Under pressure.
George. Shani.
Shiny.
Revolutionary. And I'll hand over to Lee again.
I'll hand over.
No, we didn't hear you. You broke up.
Oh,
What?
acceptance.
Nice.
I'll hand over to Donna.
Yeah. Donna.
Energy.
Who you gonna hand over to?
And I will hand it over to Tiana.
Curiosity. And I hand over to Crystal.
Open-mindedness. Who hasn't spoken? Michelle? Did you speak? No?
I'm just trying to keep up with you guys in the list. Melanie.
Melanie.
Gross.
Say again?
Gross.
Growth.
Sorry, gross.
We haven't
I didn't
missed
hear that.
everybody. That's everybody. Thank you all. I don't have a word. I don't have a word for this. Thank you all for what you've said today. Thank you all for being around. I think this is truly amazing and inspiring, and you guys all make me want to be here every week. How's that? You all convinced me to be here every week after what all you guys have taken away from this. So I will not be going anywhere. I shall be here on Fridays every week as we come through everything. I'll always be here. This will always be a safe space for everybody. And big thank you for all of you for your contributions over the 5 years. And Michelle, for helping me stay on track with this. You know, we going back then, we used to meet every week, do a quick half Arch Inspirations, half Dragon thing. And the weekly chat was always slam bang in the middle of that, and was like, okay, what are we going to do this week? And even Michelle never knew what the questions were going to be at one stage. I used to think about the question on a Friday morning while I was in the shower, driving in the morning on the way in or whatever. It was crazy. And then we started putting control in, and we started, and yeah, Michelle did all of that. Otherwise, we might still be twin sabers. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you so much for today. And yeah, I love you all. See you all next week.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank
Bye.
Happy
you.
birthday. Have a good weekend. Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Happy
you,
birthday.
everybody.